Hi guys, it's Kelly, also known on Twitter as Kellyann1977. And I do have a Patreon page now if anybody want to go and donate. I have where you can donate $1 or you can donate $5. And I do have two goals where I will be doing something for the people who do donate if they would like to. And you would go to patreon.com dash or slash Kelly Saint, which is KELLYSTE. I couldn't fit my whole name, so um, I did my Q&A earlier today, about an hour and a half ago, after I got out of the shower, and I was supposed to go visit my grandbaby today, because they're getting out of the hospital. But at 7 o'clock in the morning, the doctor who was supposed to be discharging the baby, Carson is my grandson's name, had an emergency and his beeper wouldn't stop going off. He was trying to get it done over with so that they could be released at 11:30 because she was getting discharged for 11:30. Usually they discharge the babies in the afternoon later, um, because it gets so busy and stuff at the hospital out here. Um, so at 12, my husband texts me saying that they haven't been released. I mean, she can leave if she wants to, but the baby can't. So that's not going to happen. So we brought my son here, and I gave some baby stuff, wrapped it up, a little paper, because the only thing we have here for wrapping paper is Christmas wrapping paper for some reason. So I was going to use a Cane and Cane bag, because we do keep our bags, and we reuse them for other gifts. Why not? People are paying good money for them. If I do not have any on hand, then I go and I buy a few at the Dollar Tree. I do not go and spend I've seen as much as $12. That's just ridiculous. It's a bag. Um, so we had a candy cane one, which of course is for like Christmas time, but since he's a baby, just born and they're baby gifts, I thought it would have been appropriate. So unfortunately, I had to use a Christmas one with reindeers on it and Christmas trees. So yeah. And then I wrapped her Mother's Day gift up and I taped her Mother's Day card to it and, just gave some People magazines. So if she wants something to read. She's been working this whole time. And I know that when she first met my son, um, she didn't work for a few months and it was driving her crazy because she's always been working. Um, but I'm sure she'll have things to do. My son's still working. He'll be going back Monday, more than likely Monday, because their week begins on a Sunday. Um, so he can still like help her and everything with the baby right now. So it was a disappointment that I can't go see him. I did say to my son that if she's up when she finally does get home and she wants company, then I can still stop by. But if not, then I can always stop by tomorrow. I can't do it Saturday because I'm taking my mother out for breakfast at 10:30. Then we have to go pick up pizza at Domino's. We have to come back here and put a few slices away for ourselves because we're paying for it. I want some pizza, but we're having breakfast with mom. And then we're going up for my brother's for about 12 because he's having tabletop again. And I didn't get to go last week. I wasn't feeling very well. So we gotta go do that Saturday. So by the time we get home, it'll probably be about between 4 and 5. And we still gotta do some kind of a food shopping now that we're getting low on things. We did a food shopping, I want to say probably the last week in February, about third last week. So all this was full, and this whole freezer was full of things. Yes, I like cold beer. Um, and then this whole fridge was full of things, and this freezer was filled up to the top, all the way up to the top. You couldn't see anything that was even in here. All this I had stuffed, and then we had all this was stuffed with all kinds of stuff too. Um, so you're talking We're in May now, so whole much March, April. So about 10 weeks ago, we did the food shopping. So it's about time to go and do it again. And then I got my husband these as a surprise. They're his fishing lure guy things to help him catch fish. So he got an assortment of different colors. And they were packaged this way. And the girl who does them, from Hat Tapper, I actually paid, when I came across them, the bid starts off at $1, and you get 5 of them. And it was at $8. And there were a lot of guys bidding on it, because their names like Mike, Chris, Steve. So I ended up getting them for $12. And I think I had to pay $3 shipping and handling. So now he's got them. He wanted to go to Walmart and, buy some stuff like that, because the ones that he has is a few years old. And he didn't go fishing last year. I think it's been a couple years since he's fished also. So they've just been sitting in a tackle box. And then he was given these by a classmate. So he has all kinds of different ones now. Big ones, depending on weights. And then I guess these are assortment of hooks. So now he got those for free. The guy didn't want any money for them. So he got that. And the lures that I got, because I asked him, I said, well, are those okay? Because I'm not a fisherman. I don't like to fish. I don't like to touch. Yuck. And I don't like to be in the heat. I don't do good in the heat. So I asked him, I said, well, are those any good? Because I wasn't sure, because I was going through tons of these. People starting to sell this kind of thing because, fishing season on this site. And he said he saw a couple that he was debating if he wanted to bid on, but when he saw the pictures of them, they didn't look like they were good quality. They looked cheap. Like maybe you buy them at the dollar store cheap. So he said those are really nice ones that, at Walmart, for ones of that quality, he would probably end up paying about $25 for one. So $12, he got 5 of them. The only thing is the eyes are all red. I don't know if that helps the fish see that smaller fish better or whatever. I know some guy was very disappointed in his review of them, because he said he thought he was going to get 5 different colors, and now his were all the same color, but they didn't say what color it was. And then I'm looking at the eyes, and I said, I wonder if he was talking about the eyes, because all the eyes are red, but the bodies, as you could see, are multiple different colors. He's got orange, he's got red, he's got yellow, he's got purple, he's got green. So maybe that's what the guy was talking about. I don't know. So I guess my grades are officially in, because it's Thursday, nothing's been updated. I got one of my reviews in for the end of the 15-week course, which I read that to you yesterday. So I'm waiting on 2 more. Every teacher has to do this if they want to or not. And then once that is done, that's when the grade is considered submitted. So I have the 94 in my sustainability class, which is an environmental class, a 94 in my English, and I have an 88 in my bio class. So I try to get that 90 in that class, but just didn't want to give it to me. So my goal was at least 90 in all classes. 2 out of 1, still did good. And I mean, introduction to bio is a pretty difficult class to begin with. There was some chemistry in there, and I have not taken a chemistry class, so I had no clue what they were talking about. And this thing with sound waves, that we had to do a lesson that was in the book, and answer these questions from the lesson. So it was, I guessed on some things. But for the most part, I did good. I'm happy with that. May 19th, I will be able to start doing my Statistics 1 math class, which, again, is my last math class. Thank God. 5 of them. I'm done. I'm done when I go to a 4-year college. Done. I never have to touch math again unless I want to. I can always get it at the 4-year college as an elective. The only problem is you can't go backwards. So I can't take like a refresher course on any of the math that I already did. So basic math, college math, then college algebra, what's the other one called? Concepts of math, which has a little bit of everything in it. It has a little bit of regular math. It has math from a long time ago with data and models, like surveying people or lands or whatever. It has, here's a deck of cards. How many pairs can you get from this deck? My mom's like, oh, I think it's like 112. It's over 10 million different pairs you can get. And they didn't tell you what kind of pairs they were talking about. They didn't say, can you just get like 2 2s? Or how many hots and how many... They're very vague in that class with the information they give you to figure it out. So I did that also. And I did... My college algebra had a touch of trigonometry in it. 1 chapter of it. So I can always take statistics 2 if I would like to. But I don't think I think I'm pretty good. Yeah. So that's what's going on there. I'm knocking out all my chemistry classes that I would need to take for the first 2 years of college also. So that when I go, I only have whatever's going to be left for the last 2 years of college. So when you go from a community college to a 4-year state college, you're not actually considered your 3rd year unless you knock out any of these classes that you need. So there's a certain amount of classes you need to take that will consider you being a freshman, a junior, a sophomore, or senior in college. My husband actually had so many extra credits that he started 3rd year. So he ended up only having 2 years to do. So he graduates 2020, and he'll have his associates and bachelors, and then I graduate 2020 unless I change my mind again and take extra classes, because I've been doing 3 classes in the fall, 3 in the spring, 2 in the summer, which makes me a full-time student, but with not much of a break. Maybe, if I'm lucky, 2.5 months altogether for the year. So I was thinking about cutting back for next spring and fall and just taking 2 classes instead of 3, because I still have environmental science classes to take, and I have chemistry, and I have physics, and I don't want to take too many of the same type of classes. I'm going to get stuck where my math is totally done, my human behavior classes are totally done, my, I guess what they would call like social classes. I took piano. My husband chose to take drawing. He did very well with it. He never drew before. He drew a banana and he drew a guy, and he got like 95 on both. So it wasn't just like, oh, draw a banana. Like, you had to sketch it in and put a background, and it had to look like a legit piece. So that's what he chose to do for his social class, and we only have to take 1 of them. And then my history class was the environmental history class, the history of Vermont land. So that's done and out of the way. I never have to take another class like that again. So the classes I do have to do are those 3 types. I can go and I could continue to take another bio class that will fit into, environment. I can stay with just environmental science classes. But anything that I take has to do with the environment. I took the sustainability, introduction to sustainability, and now I'm taking sustainability 1 this semester. So I'm getting there's only so much at CCV that you can do. because Serenite is a community college. So that's going on. So I'm kind of dressed. Got my Resident Evil shirt popping here. With nowhere to go. I'll show you my new boots though. They're kind of new. I don't mind shopping at the thrift store, and I have a spray that cleans the inside of the shoes, so I don't have to worry about getting fungus or anything nasty. I actually got one pair of shoes. I have no clue how much they were, but LL Bean. It was very, very expensive department store for like people who have money. You would see this normally like Cape Cod, Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island. Very high price. They were never wore. I could tell by looking at the insoles. So I got them blue ones to slip on. And then I have these boots. And I like them. And they have the zipper on this side. And you can untie the laces and make them loose. And they have a little bit of a heel. So my husband, he's like, what do you want them for? They're like just scratches and stuff on them. I'm like, did you see my boots? I just got them a year ago, 100% leather. I paid $50 for them. They were actually on sale, 30% off at Payless, and they're all scuffed up and disgusting. And so now I have a second pair of boots that once I really, really thoroughly clean them, you're not even going to be able to tell those little marks. My other ones are shiny, so when you ding them, you can tell right away. And then all the salt from the winter actually eats at the leather, makes it soft. So yeah, that's what's going on. So thought I was gonna go out for a little bit. I just think by the time she comes home, she might be too tired, because they told her, you know, they're not quite sure when the doctor's gonna be able to get to her because of whatever emergency this was for a baby. Before we know, this baby may need, you know, an operation. I know my nephew had a problem where they thought he was allergic to his formula, which he is allergic to milk. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was his esophagus. You have an esophagus in your throat that it'll be able to tell if you're drinking water or if you're drinking something solid, and it flaps over depending what you're doing. That worked fine, but when it came down to his stomach, you have another flap. I never knew this. And his flap was actually, it didn't open. It like healed as he was growing like that, and it was trying to open, it couldn't. And it was causing him a lot of pain. He wasn't able to keep down any food. After he lost 10 pounds, they finally said, you know, we got to do an ultrasound. Did an ultrasound, figured out what was going on, and then they did the emergency surgery. He was losing too much nutrition, too much weight. He has a really nasty scar because of it, and I do know it took 8 hours to do the operation from start to finish, and it took him 4 months to completely heal and to figure out what formula he needed to take for him to actually gradually gain weight properly. So, you know, who knows, it could be something major like that. So they told her that it could be anywhere between 12 and 2, and that's just a guesstimation. So, I mean, she might not even get home till like 4. They just can't release the baby until the doctor actually looks at the baby one more time and then discharges with the paperwork and signs off. And that's just the way it is. So hopefully they feed her lunch, because that'd be pretty sad, because lunch is at 12, and they were trying to get them out of the hospital by 11:30. This way they don't have to give them lunch, so your medical doesn't pay for it. So that's what's going on there. So maybe tomorrow I can see him, but like I said, I won't be able to do it. So I'll be too tired. I know I will. Plus, we're going to have to hit the Dollar Tree. We got to go to, after we leave Ocean State Job Lot, and get the portable AC now before it gets really hot and they jack up the price, $50. That's usually what they do. Or they'll be all sold out, and then the other one that we have doesn't do anything, so why put it in the window? It's just, this room is way too big for it, unfortunately. But that will be good for us, because I don't know if she'll let us take it upstairs or not, because upstairs doesn't have an AC included. But she may let us keep it and just tell the people the AC that's actually in the window, it does not work, and I'm not providing an AC anymore. Because they'll have the washer and dryer down here, so we'll see. So I hope everything's going good. It seems like every time I talk to you guys and I'm like, I have nothing to talk about, I talk for like 20 minutes. Sorry about that. So my Q&A I'll be putting up maybe in a couple of hours. This way people get time to look at this one, my vlog, before they look at my Q&A. My Q&A is only about 6 minutes long, so it's not a huge recording. So I guess I'll be here till about 3 o'clock, 3:30. And it's 1:07, so I guess I will go ahead and maybe record some Mass Effect for you guys. I watched the Rad Brad, been watching him for 7 years, do walkthroughs where he does talk through the mic because he's doing a walkthrough. And I can't figure out where he is, so I'm going to go and continue to run around with my head cut off because I know there's a pipeline that I have to follow. And I think I went by the area and I tried to jump, but I couldn't get up there. So maybe I just didn't hit the button enough or something. I don't know. So thank you for watching, guys. I don't know when I'll be doing another live vlog. Because my husband only has class until 12 tomorrow. So, you know, by the time he gets home and stuff, I don't know, unless I have something to open, and I can have him be in another video and open the stuff. So when my Pokemon decks come in, which will probably be about a week after this Monday, because I have to pay for them in advance, I'll open up the 3 decks that I'm keeping and show you guys what some of them look like. Maybe get some rare foil ones, I don't know. Because I'm going to start to play Pokemon, and my son and daughter-in-law will play with me. My husband will play. He's never played, so he'll have to learn. My nephew, who's 12, will play with me also, so yeah. It's just, I have 2 magic card decks, but it is just so much involved in it. Pokemon is just a lot easier for me, and it's actually fun. But I am collecting the magic cards, so I won't sell them. I would keep them and have my husband help me with it, building the decks that I like. And then I let him use them if he wants to, so they're not getting wasted. So, thank you, everybody. Have a great day.